Oh, hello, Martin. You ready to try my food today?
Yeah, what are you gonna cook for us?
Oh, I'm gonna do some traditional Serbian food that actually my grandma taught me how to make. I will be making some cookies with coconuts, and I'll be making proja, which is like Serbian corn muffin with meat and cheese, and it's really delicious.
Do you have everything you need?
Actually, we need to buy some things, and I think we should go to Earth Fair.
Okay.
Do you have time?
Yep, let's go.
Awesome. We need to get some peanuts because that's a really important ingredient for proja, and I think Earth Fair has really good peanuts because you have them in bulk and you can pick as many as you need. And I think we should get some cheese. Let's get it from here. It's a good idea. Okay, here you can see all the ingredients I'm gonna use to make two dishes. I'm gonna make proja and I'm gonna make the dessert. So for the, for the original recipe, we're gonna use eggs and cornmeal. We're gonna use some white flour. We're gonna need some salt. And because I can't find yogurt in America, I have to use sour cream and milk. Go organic always. Then some seltzer water, oil. We're gonna need some cheese. I'm gonna mince this meat, mix it with all these spices, and add it to the dough. And for the end, I'm just gonna add some peanuts, just to add more texture and flavor. And that would be the corn muffin called proja. For the dessert, I'm gonna use white flour and some shredded coconut. We have sugar and eggs, unsalted butter. We're gonna use some baking powder to make the dough. After we make it, cut it into smaller pieces and bake it, we're gonna cover it in confectioner's sugar to make it more sweet. And that's pretty much it. These are the pans I will be using. And let's get cooking. Okay, here we have some fresh pork. We're gonna first chop it into smaller pieces. And then we're gonna mince it in this, because we want to get pretty much like ground pork. I came here about 2 years ago. I applied for an exchange student program, and somehow I got accepted. And they chose ETSU for me. So in 2011, I found myself here, and I spent 2 semesters studying at the English department. And I just fell in love with this place and the professors and the people. So I applied for grad school, and miraculously I got accepted as well. Okay, now we're gonna mince our meat. We're gonna use smaller quantities. So when we mince all the meat, we're gonna saute it in a little bit of butter just to get more flavor in it. Okay, now we have to peel this onion and mince it as well because we wanna add more flavor to our food. Okay, now that we have the meat, the onion, and the butter, we're gonna fry it for about 15 minutes, and then we're gonna continue with making proja. So we're gonna use medium heat for this. We're gonna incorporate all the ingredients together, and then we're gonna add the spices. Okay, when it comes to spices, usually Serbian cuisine, we do use a lot of spices. We use parsley, pepper, salt, obviously. But my personal preference is super spicy food. So I love to add chili to pretty much everything. Okay, the meat is almost done. But before we continue making proja, I would like to introduce you to a couple of my friends. They'll be testing and hopefully enjoying my food. And here they are, the victims of my kitchen. Okay, now we've measured 21 spoonfuls of corn flour, and then we're gonna add about 2 spoonfuls of white flour, mix it all that together, and we can add a little bit of salt. We have about a teaspoon of salt. And again, mix it all well. Okay, now that the meat is done, we're gonna make the butter. We're gonna mix the cornmeal and white flour. And then we're gonna add about half a cup, maybe a little bit more of oil. Then we're gonna mix some sour cream with some milk because we don't have real yogurt here. at least not the kind we use for projabek. Now that we made something similar to Serbian yogurt, we're just gonna combine it with this. Then we're gonna add some seltzer water, maybe about a quarter of a cup. That goes in as well. And before we put the meat and the cheese, we're gonna chop some peanuts, and then we're just gonna add it, some cheese, the meat. Okay, we're gonna add 3 whole eggs to this, and we're gonna mix all of this together. And then I've oiled the pans, and then all I'm gonna do is just put it in the pans. You have to turn the oven on 350 degrees and then bake it for about 20 to 25 minutes, and then you're pretty much done. It's that simple. Okay, now proja is done. We're gonna turn off the oven and take it out. Okay, well, while my friends are enjoying proja, I will start making some traditional Serbian cookies. Hopefully they'll like it. We're gonna start with the unsalted butter. Now, after the butter is nice and soft, we're gonna add the flour. We're using 400 grams, and I'm not sure how many pounds, cups, ounces that is. You can look it up. I can look it up for you, actually. And then shredded coconut, 150 grams. 150 grams of white sugar. Some baking powder. And we're gonna use 2 eggs. Now we're gonna try to mix it all together. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna spread it out on the counter, make like thin snake-like, and then we're gonna shape it like half moons, put it on the baking parchment and bake it for about 20 minutes, and that's pretty much it. Very easy, very simple, really tasty, really fattening.
Hide it in the beds, we throw it in the sheds. They serve it up in cups from overseas, in the gardens, in the trees. If kicking up a fuss, it's only cost me much. Let the world begin to us.
Okay, here are the cookies, guys. You're finally done. Okay, go ahead.
So, running down our street, I'm stretching to the